All right, and we are live. So, everybody, I had an opportunity here to connect with a friend of mine who lives down in Florida. Now, she's a local real estate agent down there, and helps a lot of folks every year buy and sell some homes. And thought this would be an interesting conversation to have, just as to what does real estate look like in other parts of the country. What does luxury real estate look like? I know I have my perceptions of what Florida and Boca Raton would be, though I've never been there. So, want to introduce Brianne here real quick to everybody on my social media, my feed. And, so, tell us a little bit about your background. Tell us your story.
Well, thank you very much, Matt, for having me. Definitely appreciate the opportunity to tell everyone about my hometown. So I've grown up here in Boca Raton, Florida, and we're sort of halfway between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach for people who don't know where we are. So we're in Palm Beach County, and it's a beautiful place to grow up, a wonderful place. A lot of people think of Boca Raton when they hear Seinfeld referred to Boca quite a bit, Boca del Vista back in the day. So there is a misconception that it is only for retirees, and that's absolutely not the case. So we have families, we have everyone, retirees, snowbirds, people from up north, people from all over the country. And like I said, I grew up here. So this is home for me, and I've been very blessed to live where a lot of people vacation. So where people are coming to the beach for me and the mountains for you, it's definitely very, very blessed.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know, so just to share some personal news for you, recently engaged, you're planning your wedding. I know you posted on social media, where should you go for your honeymoon? And jokingly, I said, well, you live on the beach. Obviously, you have to go to the mountains for your honeymoon.
Which we are. We're planning to go to Breckenridge, actually. So coming your way.
Breckenridge is absolutely beautiful. When Brenna and I got married and we were talking about honeymoon, she asked me where I wanted to go. And I said, well, let's go to Ireland. She said she wanted to go to a beach. My argument that there's beaches in Ireland didn't hold much water.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. A little different.
Very, very different. So, we went down to Belize instead. So, so tell me, what is happening down there with real estate right now? If you pay attention to the news, it feels like Florida's just gone crazy and the COVID's out of control and everything's on fire. I don't get the sense that that's the case, but what's happening down there for you?
So we are wearing masks everywhere, and we do have restrictions. So the listing I'm at right now is in a high-rise building. Behind me, I don't know if you can see a little bit of the blue sky. There's the ocean is right behind me, and the intercoastal waterways. So this building in particular, they are doing temperature checks when you come in. And because I'm by myself, I'm not wearing my mask. Typically, if I had a client with me, we would be wearing masks and gloves. And this particular listing, the owner isn't here today. So, however, really, we're seeing that people are still moving, and the market is incredibly hot right now. I mean, I don't need to do that. Interest rates are still incredibly historically low and remaining there. So people who are buying are still, we're getting into multiple offers here, and it's in every price range. So it doesn't really matter if you're buying for retirement or if you're buying for your family. Everyone is in the market because inventory is still incredibly low. So people who are considering selling, they're getting top dollar and sometimes over asking. And it's been a really incredible summer. Very, very different from what we thought it would be at the beginning of the year. We weren't really sure what to expect with all of the shutdowns. But our area, we never really opened back up fully. So our bars and restaurants are still at half capacity, and we still don't have bars, standalone bars never open. So we're not really seeing, it's not on fire. We're okay.
Good. Well, it's important to get the perspective for what's really happening down there now. You touched on interest rates being low. That's something that's a national thing, so it's not as much local specific, but it sounds like your inventory levels very much like we're seeing here in Denver. And Last month, we were down 32.5% with active homes over what we were the previous year, which was already pretty low. So what are y'all seeing down there?
We're seeing the similar. We do still have new listings coming on the market every day. What we are seeing differently is, and I'm not so sure how it compares to your area, but Boca in South Florida, the South Florida market, there was still quite a bit of land out west where developers were building consistently, building, and now the building, the new construction is in the higher price range. So it starts around 800,000, and that's fantastic that they're able to sell those. However, we have quite a few people who that's out of their price range for a starter home. So myself included. So there are a lot of people who are looking to, for example, my parents are looking to downsize, and I'm looking to buy a bigger home for my family. And we're both looking at the same homes right now. So we're seeing that convergence happening in our area where we can't go to new construction because of the price limitations for personal reasons. But we're also seeing a lot of competitiveness. So
yeah, kind of squeezed from both ends, really going into the middle.
Right. Yeah. There's still a lot of opportunity. Boca is just one area. Obviously, we've got quite a few cities, and we're seeing people going further north to find opportunities. And there are very affordable, beautiful homes that are just not necessarily in the address, but still in our area that are going really well.
Well, you serve quite a wide range. It's not just Boca Raton. So for the folks that are watching the video, if you have a need in the Boca area, Brianne, just share what areas you kind of serve down there in the Florida area.
So my parents and I have a team. We're the Fearon Real Estate, or Fearon team now. We serve all of Palm Beach County. So we go from Jupiter down to Boca, that it kind of encapsulates Beach County, and then into North Broward. So Deerfield Beach, Coral Springs, Coconut Creek, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and everything in between. So I tell people from the beaches to the Everglades is where we serve. It's quite a vast area. And like I said, I mean, I've been very fortunate that I grew up here, and my database has led me from different parts of the area. So when I first got out of college, I worked in Broward County, which is the Coral Springs, Fort Lauderdale area. And so my contacts there kept me there. And then now people are moving north and back into where I grew up. So we cover quite a bit of area.
Yeah. Well, and you had shared with me your familiarity there with Miami, but Miami being a very different market, different culture, very different. And I know that my wife, who was born in Florida, has shared the more north you go in Florida, the further south the culture gets.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Florida is incredibly diverse. So where we are, we're sort of in between. So yeah, she's absolutely right. So I went to University of Florida in Gainesville, which is about 4 hours northwest of here, and it was a culture shock. So very, very different landscape, even different trees, everything. So Miami is about 40 minutes south of where we are here, and we are blessed to be so culturally diverse in Florida. We have a lot of South American, Caribbean, a lot of European influence, a lot of Northeast influence. So we have quite a bit of a melting pot going on here. And while Miami is an entity in and of its own, and I have amazing referral partners I can connect people with who are looking for Miami, I personally don't feel as though I could serve Miami as well as I can serve my hometown.
Yeah, so, for the folks that are watching, if you have somebody that you know that's moving to Florida or needs to move out of Florida, connect them with me. I can connect you there to Brianne, and she can connect you to the right agent, even if it's not somewhere she serves.
Yeah, and we're really connected in all of Florida. So if it's Tampa, Orlando, and Matt, I mean, you and I have talked for years about, we go, we're very fortunate to be with a company that networks really well. So we know people everywhere.
Absolutely. So I know that you have, and I was curious to see, you have a listing that you've pulled up, and we can do the screen share here because
sure.
I'm curious. I'm sure other people are curious. What does it look like for real estate down there in Boca Raton? So.
Yeah. So this is Hey, let me share my screen real quick with you. Pull up my photos here. Where is it? Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties trying to do this all at once. Okay.
So should be the button there for share screen.
Yeah. And it is. It is not working.
Freeze on us.
I think it did. There we go. Share screen. Okay.
Here we go. All right.
I'm trying to get it for the full screen for you. So this is actually the listing I'm in. Can you see this now?
I can. So this is the house that you're in right now.
Yeah, so this is the building that I'm in, and this is on the property of the Boca Raton Resort, one of our historic resorts here in South Florida. So that big pink hotel is what put Boca Raton on the map. And you'll see right there is the ocean. You can see the Intracoastal Waterway. Currently behind me, there's probably about 10 to 15 boats, very socially distanced. But you can see that there's a golf course here. You're on the waterway and have access out to the ocean right from this unit. And it's really picturesque views. I'm showing you more of what's around here than what's in the unit. If this is going too fast or anything, just let me know and I'll pause it for you. But this particular unit is one of my favorites because I had the opportunity to help this current seller buy this home, and you can see how she's decorated it really nicely. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's on the 6th floor of a condo building, and everything is top of the line. She has not spared any expense in this home. So, but at the same time, it's really cozy and lived in. So they use this as a vacation home while they're here, and just really, really pretty. The kitchen is all top of the line appliances, and really nicely done.
So the cabinets look a little blue.
Very blue.
There's a blue tint to the cabinets.
Yes, so she is actually from Spain and really loves a lot of color. So this kitchen was actually a dark, very dark espresso color when she moved in, but she just wanted to bring out the beachiness and the sun, so she painted it a blue color. So yeah, so that's pretty much the you can see the color. It's a lot of color everywhere.
That's kind of what I expect when I'm thinking about real estate in Florida. We're going to have a lot of bright colors, a lot of diversity in the colors versus what I might see in my neighborhood, which I think my house might be the most extreme, which is a seafoam kind of green, but very subtle, very, very subtle.
Yeah. Yeah. So did I leave the share screen there?
Yep. So it's left now. Did you want to bring that back up?
Oh, no, we're good.
Okay.
So this particular unit's a little bit different. Typically, our luxury listings here range everywhere from very bold colors to your typical grays, white kitchens, the quartz countertops. Now we're starting to see some infusions of golds, which is kind of a cool touch. I don't know if you've seen that. Some of the new models are bringing those out. But you have everything from very beachy vibe, fun, feeling like you're on vacation to everyday living.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, what was that house listed for?
This one's listed for $1.875.
1.875. Wow. So they're almost $2 million for that to be 6th floor. Yeah, beautiful location. Gotta love the views there right behind you.
Yeah, so she's got the water view here. You have the ocean, the water view and the ocean view and the golf course view. So this particular unit is unique in this building where it has the panoramic view. Some just have parking lot golf views and others just have the ocean view. So she really has the best of both worlds here.
So she picked the prime spot there for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Now for the rest of the season, kind of what are you anticipating kind of happening there in the Boca Raton market? Kind of what happens seasonally, and then what are you anticipating as we come back out of COVID for what's happening down there?
Yeah, so typically we see our summers are pretty busy. Spring and summer are busy, primarily because of families moving for school. They want to get into the school zone before school starts. And we still saw that this summer. Our schools aren't starting here in person. It's starting everything virtually at the end of the month. So that didn't change much as far as how people viewed wanting to be in the right school district, because the anticipation is they're going to eventually be able to go back to school in person. What we generally see is a little bit of a slowdown once people are settled for school. And then come October, November, we start to see pick it back up a bit when people are coming down from up north to find where they want to stay for the winter months and ride out the winter here in Florida. So we generally start to see it pick back up again before the end of the year. I'm really hopeful that, and I know everyone is, that we'll find some sort of vaccine or end to COVID and stopping the spread so we can see a normal life again. And typically here we start to see a big boom of listings in the March, April timeline when people are looking to get on the market and get things sold for the summer before school.
Yeah. Yeah, so seasonality, we see a similar seasonality here. A lot of buyers get into the market early on in the kind of late winter, right? February starts that season. But more of the inventory starts coming on in April, as that starts to widen that compression phase that we've had here for a little bit. So sounds like very similar there. Now, for the folks that might be watching that aren't looking to move full-time to Florida, what might be a recommendation or a good place to start if I wanted to look for a second home? Now, maybe I do it as an Airbnb. Maybe I just have it as a second home for me exclusively because I don't want to share. What would be a recommendation for somebody in Colorado who's thinking about maybe getting a second home down there in the area?
Yeah, so there are, Airbnb isn't really that popular here because in our particular area, further north in Florida, the rules are a little more lenient. But here are condos, there are small villas, there's homes that are truly affordable. I have a family that's coming in from New York actually, buying a 3-bedroom home and using it as a vacation home. It has its own pool. So that's something that's become very popular now, is having that privacy and having your own pool versus a community shared pool. Because when everything was closed, they weren't able to go to the pool if you didn't have your own pool. So that's something, and that's in an affordable price range between $300,000 and $400,000. So there are homes that are very moderately priced, and certainly condos where you don't have to think about anything. In fact, before I got to this unit today, the shutters were still closed because we had the threat of the hurricane coming. And if you're in a condo building, you close the shutters, they close it for you if you're not here, and they watch over everything. So there is quite a bit of activity and quite a bit of options in our area for that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. One of the benefits to having a condo versus having a single family home, if it's going to be something that you aren't living in all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and there's condos of all sorts of sizes, all sorts of areas, not necessarily on the water. Some are a little bit further away from the beach, and the further you get from the beach, it's more affordable. If you're willing to go make a 5-minute drive from the beach, you can certainly save quite a bit of money. And that's really what I encourage my buyers to do, is to look and see what's their desired goal and where do they really want to be, because you can have the best of what South Florida has to offer and not have to spend crazy amounts of money to have the lifestyle here.
Well, a 5-minute drive to the beach it sounds really dreamy if you're in a landlocked state like Colorado and it's a several-hour flight to get to an airport and then drive to a beach. The 5 minutes isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. As we kind of wrap up, was there anything else that you care to share or to touch on, that you'd want folks to know about real estate down in that area?
Yeah, I think that there's, again, like I mentioned, there's a misconception that it's a retirement area, and it absolutely isn't. My family, I was raised here. My brother and I, we went away to college and we came back, and we're intending to raise our families here. So I really think there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of different people. And like I mentioned, we're really fortunate to be so diverse here in South Florida. And if you want to go and have amazing Cuban food, it is right there, and it's authentic. It is amazing. Caribbean influence. And then you've got the New York pizza that comes down. It's like, you really can't lose here. So if you want like really, really good New York pizza, you can get it here in South Florida. And you can have fresh fish. Everything is right here.
Well, it sounds like an ideal place to go visit, even for the folks that aren't looking to buy, whether that's a condo or a house or whatnot, but an ideal place to just go visit and enjoy Florida that might not be the Miami club scene.
Yes, definitely not. This is not the club scene. This is more of a relaxed resort, beachy area. And we've got a lot of opportunity. Like I said, we have everything from single family homes, new construction, great listings like the one I'm in right now. But there's still quite a bit of affordable living here. And I want people to understand that South Florida doesn't necessarily mean, $1 million homes only. We've got everything, from $100,000 condos to the $1 million beautiful places on the water. So there is something here for everyone. And whether you're coming here as a second home, coming here to live full time, there are plenty of places to choose from in different areas. You go further closer to the Everglades, you have a totally different view than what you have behind me right here. And it's still equally as amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about the opportunity to go down and visit. My wife is always taking me down to Florida. Her family's down in Melbourne Beach. We should stop off at Boca Raton at some point because it's a place that I'd love to go visit, try some Cuban food. I'm a very, very picky eater. So again, I'll try it, willing to try anything, but some of those are just a little beyond me. But excited for you as you get through the wedding planning, and that's coming up as you do your honeymoon up in the Breckenridge area. Would love to grab a coffee with you and your fiance, at that point, husband, as y'all come through.
We would love that. Yeah, absolutely. And Matt, you and your wife are welcome here anytime. Please come visit, and we will definitely introduce you to some different foods. And I promise you won't be disappointed. But would love to grab coffee. We would love to see you guys.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much. I'm really excited that you're willing to be live here on this Facebook chat. If you would shoot me the email with the website for that listing, I'll plug it in here onto the thread so that folks that want to spend a little more time looking at what a $1.875 million house on the water looks like.
We'll absolutely do. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we'll send that over to you right away.
Absolutely. Well, hey, you enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Matt. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.